So here we are in section 12.3, day number 1. As I indicated in class, we are going to spend 2 days on just about every section the rest of this chapter because I'm not going to lie, it is some more difficult material and some things that you have not seen before, so we're going to take our time with it. So first of all, we're going to divide by monomials. Okay, so today's all about dividing polynomials, and so the first couple examples are going to be as simple as we can get. Okay, so if we divide 10x to the third minus 25x squared plus 15x by 5x, all that means is divide every single term by 5x. Okay, so you have 10x to the third divided by 5x minus 25x squared divided by 5x and 15x divided by 5x. And when I simplify this, okay, you're going to end up over here, you're going to end up with 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Okay, and the way you check is you take the thing that you were dividing by and your answer and you multiply them together. So in other words, you do 5x times 2x squared minus 5x plus 3, so you distribute this guy to every single term inside, and you'll get 10x to the third minus 25x squared plus 15x, and you'll notice this expression is exactly what we started with originally. Okay, and so as long as that works out, you know that you did your division correctly. If that does not work out, well then you know you have to go back and reevaluate kind of what you did. Okay, the second example here, same idea again. At this point, maybe pause the video just to make sure you got this. This is not really any brand new stuff. So we have 12x to the third divided by x plus 9x squared divided by x minus 3x divided by x. And so you'll end up with 12x squared plus 9x minus 3 is your final answer. Okay, and again, just to verify that we got that correctly, we're going to do x times our answer. So I distribute this guy to every single term inside, and you're going to end up at 12x to the third, I'm going to run out of room here, plus 9x squared minus 3x. Okay, so again, this guy is the same as that guy, and so we know that we did our calculations correctly here. Alright, long division. Okay, long division. Understand what's going on here. In other words, this goes back probably to late elementary, early middle school. Okay, 330 over 15 is the same thing as this. 330 divided by 15. Okay, a couple things to note here, just some terminology. First of all, the expression that is being divided by, okay, so in other words, is called the dividend. Okay, the dividend. So in this particular example, 330 is the dividend and 15 is the divisor. So the thing you're dividing is the divisor, the thing that's being divided into is the dividend. Just some terminology there to be familiar with. So remember how to do this from way back. Okay, you look at this number and you say, okay, does 15 go into 3? Clearly 15 does not go into 3. Okay, does 15 go into 33? Absolutely. Okay, 15 divides into 33 2 times. 2 times 15 is 30. And remember, you subtract these two things, so 33 minus 30 is 3. And then you bring this 0 down. And then you say, okay, 15 goes into 30. How many times? It goes in twice. 2 times 15 is 30. And your remainder is 0. So 15 goes into 33, or 330 22 times. If you wanted to check that out, then all you do is 22 times 15. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Bring it 0 down, so 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2. Add those up, you get 330. So we know we did our division correctly. So just a quick review of long division, because that's really what we're going to be doing with our polynomials from here on out. Just another example. Okay, maybe pause the video here and make sure you have this. So 8 goes into 4, no times, but 8 goes into 41, 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract them, you get a 1. You got to bring down the 18. 8 goes into 18 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract them. You get 2. Now the 5 comes down. 8 goes into 25. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract them. Bring down the 1. 8 goes into 11 once. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract them, you get 3. And finally, bring down the 2. 8 goes into 32 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract them, your remainder is 0. Okay? Quick check. 52,314 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32, carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11, carry the 1. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25, carry the 2. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18, carry the 1. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 is 41. So 418,512, that's what we started with. Check, we did it correctly. Okay? Guys, you're probably going to want to go back and rewatch this video because, again, I know that this is stuff that you probably haven't done in a long time because you guys get in such a habit of just using calculators all the time for everything that you may have forgotten how to divide using long division. Alright. So, just note here that saying this, 4x squared minus 8x minus 5 over 2x plus 1 is the same as that. Okay, and so we're going to look at dividing these expressions now. So we've divided by monomials, right? One variable. Then we divided just numbers, and now we're looking at dividing polynomials with multiple expressions. So it's really done the same way. So when you look at this first problem, you're looking at, okay, I look at 2x and 4x squared. 2x goes into 4x squared 2x times. Okay, and so now what you do is you take this number, you multiply it by both things. 2x times 2x. 4x squared, 2x times 1 is positive 2x, right? And then we subtract these. That's where you got to be careful. 4x squared minus 4x squared is 0. Negative 8x minus 2x is negative 10x. Bring down the negative 5. Okay, and now you're still looking at, okay, I have 2x and negative 10x. 2x goes into negative 10x. Negative 5 times. So negative 5 times 2x is negative 10x. Negative 5 times positive 1 is negative 5. When I subtract this, I get negative 10x minus negative 10x. So that's going to be 0. Negative 5 minus negative 5 is 0. So my remainder is 0. So this is my solution. Okay? And again, get in the habit of checking your solution. So if I take my divisor and I multiply that by my quotient, or my answer, when I distribute here, or my FOIL technique, right? So 2x and 2x makes 4x squared. 2x minus 5, that's negative 10x. And then I have positive 1 and 2x, that's positive 2x. And I have positive 1, negative 5. And so finally, when I simplify here, I have 4x squared. Negative 10x plus 2x is negative 8x. Minus 5. 4x squared minus 8x minus 5 is exactly what I was dividing into. And so check, I know I did it correctly. So this right here would be my solution. Alright. Again, similar problem. So I look at x and 3x squared. X goes into 3x squared 3x times. Multiply this guy by both terms here. So it's 3x squared minus 9x. Subtract here. 3x squared minus 3x squared, those cancel. Negative 4x minus negative 9. So that's really going to be a plus 9. So negative 4x plus 9x is 5x. And then you got to bring down this 15. X goes into 5x. Positive 5 times. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Subtract. 5x minus 5x, 0. Negative 15 minus negative 15 plus plus is also 0. And so this right here is my solution, no remainder. Okay. Again, double check. Take your divisor, okay, the thing we were dividing. So x minus 3. Multiply it by your solution. FOIL this thing out, so 3x squared plus 5x minus 9x minus 15, and finally when I simplify this I get 3x squared minus 4x minus 15. I verify that this is the same as that, 3x squared minus 4x minus 15. Check, I know I did it correctly. Alright. I'd pause the video here and kind of see where you're at with this if you want, if you're comfortable. If not, just keep watching the video. That's fine. 2x goes into 14x squared 7x times. So I get 14x squared plus 35x. And again, we're subtracting here. 14x squared minus 14x squared cancels. 31x minus 35x is negative 4x. Bring down the negative 10. 2x goes into negative 4x negative 2 times. So I get negative 4x. And then negative 2 times positive 5 is negative 10. Okay, subtract these two things. Negative 4x minus 10, or negative 4x minus negative 4x cancels. Negative 10 minus negative 10 cancels. 0 is my remainder. There's my quotient, like part D. Again, my suggestion, do this on your own. So I have x plus 5, and I'm dividing that into, that's not a square root, that should be a division sign, sorry about that. X squared plus 6x plus 5. So x goes into x squared, x times, multiply x squared plus 5x, subtract them, those cancel, 6x minus 5x is 1x, bring down the plus 5, x goes into x, positive 1 times x is x, 1 times 5 is positive 5, subtract them, x minus x, 0, 5 minus 5, 0, remainder is 0. There's my solution. I'm just going to keep plugging away here, guys, so you go ahead and pause the video and kind of work through these on your own, and then use the video just to check, okay? So we have 5x squared plus 7x minus 6 divided by x plus 2. X goes into 5x squared, 5x times, multiply it out. So 5x squared plus 10x, subtract them, 5x squared minus 5x squared is 0, 7x minus 10x is negative 3x, bring down the negative 6. X goes into negative 3x, negative 3 times. Multiply this by both things, so you get negative 3x, negative 6. Subtract them. So negative 3x minus negative 3x cancels. Negative 6 minus negative 6 cancels. Remainder is 0. There's my solution. Okay, and again, I would always get in the habit of checking my solution because I can't stand not knowing if I'm correct. So I have x plus 2 times 5x minus 3. Foil it out. 5x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 6, and finally I end up at 5x squared plus 7x minus 6. That is the same as what I started with, so that tells me, check, you did this correct. Okay. Now this one's a little bit different because if we want to divide polynomials, you have to rewrite them first. Okay, and so that's how this one's a little bit different than the previous examples, is that I'm going to rewrite all of this first. So in other words, I'm going to write this first term as 6x squared minus 24 divided by, and then I'm going to write this guy as 3x minus 6. Excuse me. And so now I can divide. So I have 6x squared minus 24 divided by 3x minus 6. 3x goes into 6x squared, 2x times 3x, 6x squared, 2x times negative 6 is negative, oh, you know what I forgot? Because there's no x in here, I actually have to write inside of here, I have to include the x, so I'm going to say plus 0x minus 24. Okay, sorry about that. And that's where this says right here. For any missing terms, put in a 0. That's what they mean, 0x. Okay, so when you have 2x minus 6x, which is negative 12x. Alright, now I'm subtracting these. So 6x squared minus 6x squared, 0. 0 minus negative 12x is going to be a positive 12x. Carry this guy down. 3x goes in 12x 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12x. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Subtract them. 12x minus 12x, 0. Negative 24 minus negative 24 is 0. Your remainder is 0. There's your solution. Again, not sure. Check it out. 3x minus 6 times 2x plus 4. So 3x and 2x is 6x squared. 3x and 4 is 12x. 3x and 6 and 2x is 12x. And that's a negative 6. Dang it. So there should be a negative 12x. And then negative 6 and positive 24 is positive 4 is negative 24. So you notice 12x and 12x, negative 12x cancels. So you're left with 6x squared minus 24. That is the same as that. Check, we did this right. Okay. So that concludes the notes here for day number 1.